This shit. Nice. Nice. This is very, very nice. Hello, everybody. Despite Hector Hard Mode playthrough's best efforts, I survived 2025. Hey guys. Happy New Year's and welcome to the 2026 channel update. As you can see, I've been futzing with the camera spot some more. Got the shelves up, and I'm thinking I'm going to stay in this spot for the time being, but lighting is still a work in progress. I look okay right now as I have a big white document in front of me, but here's like what it looks like if I got a real light on me to look okay. I don't know, obviously the work on the mic position and stuff, but like there, that's what I really look like. Now let's get back to the unflattering shit that you're gonna see me do. I've done a lot of takes of this, and it's a lot of that. But it can't be helped. It cannot be helped. So during this update, normally I would do updates without a camera, meaning I would be doing it in Audacity, and I could take whatever good cuts I want. I could retry as many times as I want. So when you see a bunch of smash cuts, jump cuts to different segments where suddenly I'm over here or over here, wiggling around, there's gonna be a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of this. Ready? You're gonna see a lot of this. You're gonna see a lot of. You're gonna see a lot of that to transition back into what I want to talk about. So let's get started. There's one thing I learned from last year. It's that my health and mental state can be apparently exchanged for quality content and neat developments for the channel, as I am quite proud of how things turned out in 2025. At this time last year, I made a declaration of no more hangups. And while that resulted in a Fire Emblem playthrough that split open a geyser of dormant anxiety that landed me in the ER, seeing now that I'm speaking with you all parasocially, face to no face, I'll say I accomplished what I set out to do. Along with quite a few other accomplishments in the year. Let's look at a little rewind, shall we? In 2025, we streamed 149 times, of which 37 nights and 200 hours of that was the 100 line Last Defense Academy. A stream series that saw immense engagement over the 2-month endurance run that Tommy and I managed to get through. Very happy with that. I really hope those voices are still in my head somewhere. It's like riding a bike. Then the pre-show was introduced after that, so we could shoot the shit and warm up before getting to the main event for the night, which added some structure to the broadcast that this channel's never had. You know, I just realized I don't know why I never set up a pre-show like scene for when we go on break, so you all have music and a countdown. I can make that in like right now. Next though, and I'm particularly proud of this one, considering the scarcity of such in 2024, I released 11 highlight videos this year, last year. The most I've ever produced in a year by far. With Kingdom Hearts 1 and Death Stranding 2, with the Kingdom Hearts 1 and the Death Stranding 2 highlight videos being personal favorites of mine. And I mean that as both a viewer and the guy who made them. They were fun to make, and I think they're really fucking fun to watch, especially the Death Stranding 2 video. That shit's 80 minutes of non-stop goodness. Go watch that. Until I see 100,000 views on that fucking video, I'm not going to shut up about it. Go fucking watch it. But after this, even though this is like, you don't really even need to watch this. I'm in like a weird square. If I make it too large, by the way, in OBS, the resolution goes to shit. So I left myself, you know, nice in the center there. Anyway, I also put out an experiment with a solid number of shorts. I'm still not sure when I should make something a short or just a regular ass video, but hopefully that'll get ironed out this year. Any thoughts you guys have on that matter would be very welcomed, because I've run into a few instances already of just like, ha, this is like the peak of demon negotiation. It should be a sideways rectangle and not a vertical rectangle. But then other times I'm like, you know, this isn't that funny. I think that's vertical rectangle. Maybe it's like the degree of reverence. If it's like vapid and easy to put out and no one actually cares, or they might care, you put it in the vertical rectangle. But also, that dispatch short I put out, I think, could have been a video. Sideways rectangle. I don't fucking know. Help me out here. The marker system for highlights was implemented, and god damn, do I feel stupid for not looking into a tool like that sooner. But last year I got into the groove with shaking things up, and I'm just glad I even thought to seek out such a tool. Though let me take a moment here to say, chat, commenters, never be afraid to throw out a marker into chat or a timestamp into a comment. Especially if it's during a moment where one of the guys says something hilarious and you don't hear me react to it. Like, there's a good chance I'm either dissociating or I'm focusing on gameplay. And also, it's kind of hard to hear everything sometimes with my headphones, because of it can get very loud. So I can't hear some stuff. The audio mixing is actually better on your guys' end than on mine at certain times, I think. But the reason I say that is the main fear I have with the marker system governing what gets into a highlight video is that when I have traditionally rewatched streams to mark down highlights, that's what this stuff is here. Here's the 100 line. That's a lot, by the way. There's always like a handful or two moments that I didn't catch live that I laugh at and go, man, fuck, how did I miss that? Why didn't I say anything at the time? And with the marker system now being the main governing tool for highlights so that I can make videos more often, I want to make sure those bits get in. Keep an eye out for me, okay? Thank you. Then, despite my usual aversion to asking anything of my viewers, I brought attention to memberships in hopes of having some consistent revenue on a platform where half my streams get copyright claimed. It's probably more like 33%, but you know, like, I played all of Nier recently and I made like nothing off of those and it kind of sucked. But I want to have that cushion. While I had the $5 tier before, and it's still there if you want to help a guy out, when I was doing some housekeeping, I noticed that they added a $1 tier. And that is the amount I feel comfortable with as an asking price for a channel of this caliber. So I said, all right, let's do it. That was a big deal for me. I still cannot ask people to like and subscribe because honestly, I don't really know how much it does. Though it is kind of funny with the subscriber thing. Like half of my followers are not subbed to me. Think about it. Think about who you are and what you might want to do. Though if you do get something from the memberships, by the way, if you didn't know. You get some stupid fucking emotes that I wish moved. Get on that shit, YouTube. All right, I'm getting way too far off script. Then, of course, there was the final hang-up. The webcam. And the face reveal. Now, since I've done a piss-poor job conveying why I finally took this step, let me do that now. For one, it really just felt like the natural end to the mentality I've taken with the channel this last year. But also, Also, I wanted that half-dimensional step to interface with you guys more than I have been up to this point. But probably more than any of that, it's just to shake things up going on 5 years of doing this shit. And because I watched a lot of Northern Lion clips, and yeah, as a guy who didn't watch a lot of streamers, you watch a guy stream and you see his face and his voice and you're like, haha, the man's laughing, and now I'm laughing and I'm feeling a little something closer than if it was just a voice. So, you know, it looked like a lot of fun. And I realized, fuck, I probably should have been doing this, especially when, you know, I'm like an 8 on a good day. So I don't know. I gotta broccoli drop the fucking weights off, I guess. Though I have had to deal with a lot of face dysmorphia in the process of setting up this camera. I am ready to get a fucking facelift after seeing all this shit. But despite all that, in the few streams I've done with it so far, there has been something that's felt very right about it, being able to ham it up with my face and not just my voice for once. Like there's something about fully being on the stage. It just feels so right after all this time, and I hope you guys are enjoying it and seeing my crazy expressions or my limp face when how I am most of the time. It's weird to say, but in 2025, I became a streamer. It's so weird to say. Like, for me, it really feels like I graduated this channel into something more than just a hobby to while away the time like it always had been, having stemmed from the halcyon quarantine days. I highlight this rewind because that's the momentum I'm going to carry into this new year, as I'm going to keep it real with you and don't freak out. Don't freak out. In about a year, I'm going to slow this operation down if I don't hit a considerable stride in overall channel growth that can make me some real money and give me the satisfaction of seeing some fucking numbers go up after all this time. It probably sounds strange coming from me after all these years of decrying that mindset, or at least the practices associated with it, but shit, man. I'm going on 5 years of doing this. After all the baby steps I took with the channel this last year, and then coming out the other side of all the medical nonsense with something of a new lease on life. For all these years, something inside me started revolving again that hasn't turned since before COVID hit. I have been in a stasis for years. And now I need something real in my life. And before I go back to school or to get a fucking real job or apply for JET to work in Japan, because that seemed cool, I would fucking love it if this hobby could become that real thing for me. Because experiencing games in front of a fervent audience with a buddy by your side that you can frame into a highlight reel later is fucking incredible. And this last year, I stepped into the threshold where this suddenly feels possible. So I gotta try. And I know it's not a quality issue because of you all and your dedication to watching this shit. And because, well, yes, the Cockturn the movie is very special. let's be real, it does not outclass the other highlight videos by magnitudes of order. Okay? In fact, I'd like to know where it ranks among viewers that have seen every highlight video. That'd be a fun thing to know at this point. I should make a poll. I should make a poll of that. Anyway, I gotta believe I have yet to accrue every possible person with an affinity to watching my crew and I's nonsense. So I gotta try and find these fuckers somehow, guys. Maybe I should start networking? I don't really know. That's a... We'll go to the ER one more time before I start branching out and looking for talking to other content creators. Maybe that's the play. I don't know. Oh, but I could poach their viewers. Or maybe I just bought viewers to drum up interest. A morally reprehensible and unaffordable. Okay, so... You all good? You all good? I know that sounds crazy. Fucking everyone freak out. WaifuEater's going AWOL in a year. Which I'm not. I'd probably still stream. It's just like I said, I would downsize. I would have to I'd have to put what is right now a like pseudo job on the back burner so that I could do something real to satisfy me emotionally, monetarily. You get it? You get it. Okay, so new goals, new outlook, new mindset. What's actually going to change on the channel then, Alex? How the fuck are you going to do this? Okay. Turns out there's not much I can do apart from showing my face, because I think that can be a big factor. That's a big step. And the volume of content is going to increase in hopes of something sticking. Gotta throw shit at the wall, all right? Like, let's think about it. What got me where I am now with, like, the 4,700 subscribers I have? That's right. That's right. The SMT videos. I had a hit single. That's life, man. That's life when it comes to artistry or entertainment, I should say, more than anything. And if I'm going to get a hit, what do? You start swinging more. So what's that look like? First and foremost, more shorts. If it's good enough to be in a highlight video, i.e. markered, and it's about, a minute long, I'll probably make it into a short. That's the easiest way to throw shit at the wall. I know the shorts are kind of like a sub channel, but can't hurt. Can only help. Second, though, I'm going to make more standard format videos focused on a particular bit or segment. Videos like Man the Schmeat. For codification's sake, I'm going to call these bit highlights. You'll see one of these released alongside the near replicant highlights in the coming weeks, taking one of the main bits throughout the game. You might know which. So I guess there are really two. Well, I'll deal with that when the time comes. Taking one of the main bits from the game, putting it into its own video, even though it will still be in the highlight video intact in, proper chronological order as I normally would have it. Then obviously, full stream highlight videos will continue as the backbone of this channel, as they are both my favorite thing to make and the thing I take forever to get started on. As of this video, as I've pretty much just said, up next is Near Replicant. Also, I know I said I had started on the first of what will probably be 3 100-line highlight videos, but my current plan is to work on that when we get back to finishing the game itself, which I'll talk about in a second. Then, of course, I am always on the lookout for an exceptional highlight to be its own video, like the peak of Demon Negotiation. But those are a once-a-year kind of deal, if that. And like I was just lamenting, do I put it in this shape or do I put it in this shape? Is it a short? Or is it cinema? Or is it shit? Shitima. Maybe that's the rule of thumb. If I think it's like cinema that like really needs to be shared, I put it here. But cinema is this for people? I don't, do I do both? I don't know. Please, someone help me with this. I don't know. I got to get this shit ironed out. Because like I'm thinking there's no way the Peak of Demon Negotiation would have helped the channel like it did as a short. Maybe it would have. But you have the recommended in the side when you click on the regular videos, and when you click on the regular when you click on the sideways rectangle, you have the things on the side that's like up next, and then the autoplay happens. But you also have the autoplay on the shorts, but the autoplay on the shorts can't do 5-hour highlight videos. I think I'm getting somewhere after all these fucking takes on this video. Now, lastly, there is one more type of highlight video that I plan on putting out at the beginning of every month. Ooh, consistent content. Wow. And that is the best of the pre-show. The first of these will be out next month and will include some pre-show highlights from the footage I have on hand now, rather than just whatever's to come here in January, so that the first one can be, you know, nice and juicy as a pilot. Though, if there are any moments from the pre-show earlier in 2025 you can think of that'd make for a good highlight moment, let me know and I'll get it in the February video. All right? So let's wrap this update up. Wrap up this update. All right, let's wrap this update up by listing what you can look forward to us playing this year. First off, at the beginning of January, we will be continuing the Alex Killer itself. Our bizarre, amazing magnum opus of the channel run of Fire Emblem 7 Iron Man Hector hardest mode in the coming weeks in January. In the high likelihood of receiving one more game over in that playthrough, that will in fact confirm a stream series of a game I swore to never play. Tokyo My Rage sessions. And if that happens, you all better fucking pay up for it, because that shit's on the Switch. That shit's on the Switch. And you know what Switch games never do? That's right, go on sale. Better fucking pay up, all right? I know it's my punishment, but fuck you, pay up. After Fire Emblem 7, though, I think it'd be a good idea. Cleanse the palate. Stressful, physically taxing, dangerous, tactical visual novel gameplay. By finishing the remaining 71 endings of the 100-line Last Defense Academy. We'll probably play something in between the two. Just a little something, but maybe not. I don't know. After that, though, we'll see how we feel, and I'm not going to show my full hand in this video. I have quite a few things that we could do, but there are 2 games that I must announce. First of which is one we have alluded to and talked about often. Probably like the longest awaited for us. And that is Tommy on the controls and me in the commentator seat while playing Final Fantasy VIII. Please be excited for Triple Triad. The other thing that I want to announce is little game called Shin Megami Tensei 4. Fido did not scratch the SMT itch last year. Really didn't. Really didn't. So we are significantly overdue. Though, depending on what Atlas opts to re-release or port this option could change. But you know what? I think we're going to play some Shin Megami Tensei 4 one way or another. I think it's about time. When we're going to play FF8 or SMT4, I don't know, but it's going to happen. As for the major releases we want to cover when they launch, though, not a lot of stuff this year, I think. Like, I looked at the list of games, and while we got Danganronpa 2x2 at launch for sure, and Deltarune Chapter 5 at launch, yeah, maybe a little bit after launch for Chapter 5, because, you know. Did I say Chapter 2 initially? Oh, it's because I'm looking at the 2x2s. Ah, whatever. You know what I meant. But for Chapter 5, we'll probably do the same deal that we did for 3 and 4. Let Tommy and Brad play it first, and then we'll get together for them to backseat me as needed so that we can get the full tour of the bizarro Toby Fox experience. And let me clarify something real quick. Just please know, if in a year from now things don't shake out the way I wanted them to, which, you know, there's a good chance that's how it's going to be. It's not like I'm going to abandon this channel and never stream again. Like, if, let's say, SMT6 comes out, hell or high water, we will stream that shit for you guys. All right? It's just that we would probably slow down the operation. Come around to it. Just making sure you all know. That all said, the stream set list for this year has to be a banger regardless. Because it's either last one out, get the lights, let's make it a good one, or we need to play good shit so that the channel can keep going. And we've got plenty of ideas to make that happen. But as always, if you have any playthrough suggestions, leave them in the comments. You might have missed something. Or if there's something that you all really want to see us play, we'll give it a try, all right? Let us know. Everyone, thank you for your continued support. I'm sure I sounded a little crazy in this video, and I hope my tone did not come off as ungrateful, because that could not be further from how I feel. Like, no matter how things turn out, even if I'm saying I want more, I am certainly grateful for what I have now. I'm not redoing this take. I'm at the end of the video. I've been doing good. With the newfound perspective and my face able to haunt the internet, I hope you all will keep me in line going forward. 2025 was whack. So let us destroy 2026 together. Do you want to see me eat my fig?